Today, we're going to open the barn door and look at the musical treasure trove of October 15th. Buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through time, hitting some major high notes in music history. The day UB40 saw red. Again. Let's kick things off with a story that proves sometimes good things come to those who wait, and wait, and wait some more. On October 15th, 1988, UB40's cover of Red, Red Wine finally hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? Hold on to your leg warmers because this chart topper was 4 years in the making. UB40 recorded this reggae-infused banger in 1983 for their album Labor of Love. Here's the kicker. They had no clue Neil Diamond wrote it. They thought it was a reggae original. Talk about a happy accident, right? The song became their first UK #1 hit right off the bat, but in the US it only peaked at number 34 in 1984. Fast forward to 1988, and a radio program director decided to dust it off and give it another spin. Suddenly everyone was singing Red, Red Wine, You Make Me Feel So Fine like it was 1983 all over again. The label had to scramble to re-release the single, and boom! UB40 found themselves with a surprise hit. It just goes to show, folks, never underestimate the power of a good song. CBGB, The Day the Music Died. Sort of. Now let's pour one out for CBGB. On October 15th, 2006, this legendary New York City music club closed its doors after 33 years of punk rock, sweat, and probably a few health code violations. CBGB was the birthplace of punk rock and new wave music. It was like the cool, older sibling of music venues, always open, even on holidays, ready to introduce you to your new favorite band. The final show was headlined by none other than Patti Smith. Can you imagine the emotions in that room? It was like saying goodbye to an old friend who'd seen you through your awkward phase, your rebellious phase, and your, I think I can pull off this leather jacket phase. The closure came after a dispute between owner Hilly Kristal and the Bowery Residents Committee. Even punk rock can't fight gentrification. After closing, parts of the club were sold off, including the iconic awning. The venue was later turned into a John Varvatos clothing store. From mosh pits to mannequins, now that's a plot twist. Amnesty International's Greatest Hits Tour. On the same day in 1988, busy day, huh? The Amnesty International Human Rights Now Tour wrapped up in Buenos Aires. This wasn't your average concert. It was like the Avengers of music assembling for a good cause. We're talking Sting, Peter Gabriel, Tracy Chapman, and Bruce Springsteen with the E Street Band. It was Springsteen's last tour with the E Street Band until their reunion in 1999. Talk about going out with a bang. This tour wasn't just about the music, though. It was about raising awareness for human rights and Amnesty International's work. Who says you can't change the world and have a killer soundtrack while doing it? Elvis's Blue Christmas in October. Let's rewind a bit to October 15th, 1957. Elvis Presley, the king himself, released Elvis's Christmas album. I know what you're thinking. Christmas in October? But hey, when you're the king, you make the rules. This wasn't just any Christmas album. It became the best-selling Christmas album in the United States and has sold over 20 million copies worldwide. That's a lot of people rocking around the Christmas tree. The album includes classics like Blue Christmas and Santa, Bring My Baby Back to Me. Elvis managed to make Christmas sound cool. No small feat when you're competing with Rudolph and Frosty. A presidential birthday bash. Fast forward to 2011, and we've got a birthday party fit for a, president. On October 15th, Lady Gaga, Stevie Wonder, and Usher performed at Bill Clinton's 65th birthday celebration at the Hollywood Bowl. Can you imagine that guest list? It's like the Grammys met the White House and decided to throw a party. I wonder if Bill broke out his saxophone for a jam session. Now that would have been a YouTube video worth watching. The day Buddy Holly met Elvis. Let's hop in our musical time machine again and return to 1955. On October 15th, a young Buddy Holly and Bob Montgomery opened for Elvis Presley at the Big D Jamboree in Lubbock, Texas. This wasn't just any gig. It occurred at Lubbock's Cotton Club and was attended by Nashville talent scout Eddie Crandall. Talk about pressure! But Buddy must have nailed it because this performance led to an audition and demo recordings for Decca Records. Imagine being a fly on the wall for that show. You've got Elvis, the rising star, and Buddy Holly, the future legend, sharing a stage. It's like watching the musical equivalent of a superhero origin story. Wrapping it up. So there you have it, folks. October 15th is a day that's seen everything from Christmas in October to the end of an era in punk rock. It's a day that reminds us that music isn't just about hitting the right notes or topping the charts. It's about bringing people together, whether it's for a cause, a celebration, or just a good old-fashioned rock show. From UB40's long-awaited success to Buddy Holly's big break, these stories show us that in music, anything can happen. You might have to wait 4 years for your big break, or you might open for Elvis and kickstart your career. The only constant is the power of a great song to move us, inspire us, and sometimes make us wait a little bit longer for that #1 spot. So the next time October 15th rolls around, crank up some UB40, dust off your Elvis Christmas album, or start your own band. After all, you never know. You might be making music history. That's all for today's episode of This Day in Music. If you enjoyed this musical journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, keep those tunes playing and those records spinning.